Just going to give it a couple more minutes so everyone can join because of the delay. Brian, do you think I should send a news and announcement out as well with the new link just in case people logged on early? Or do you think that's overkill?
You mean like an email that everyone would get?
Yeah,
If it's not too difficult.
yeah, I could do that. But we have Mark and Javier here for the poll hearing anyway.
Okay.
And I'll work on the rest of the agenda.
So,
I'll start the recording.
yeah, and then I'll call it things to order.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday, November 21st, 2024. It is 7:03 p.m. and this is a meeting of the Town of Bolton Select Board. And first up on our agenda is actually we're going to, in a moment, open up a public hearing related to the installation of two jointly owned poles. So first, I'd like to call that public hearing to order pursuant to Chapter 166, Section 22 of Mass General Law. And this is a petition of National Grid and Verizon to install two jointly owned poles, number 29-50 and number 30-50, along and across Main Street Route 117. So I believe we have a representative from National Grid, Mr. Morales, and also I see Mark Case, our tree warden. So Mr. Morales, do you want to begin?
Oh boy. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Javier Morales. I'm here representing National Grid. I'd like to request the installation of two new utility poles. That there's a sketch available. It's right outside the new housing development that's coming in. One of the utility poles on the 495 side of the road will include two 4-inch conduits traveling just along the edge of the road and going into private property. They'll both be 45-foot class 2 poles, and they're going to grab the existing primary that's at that location. And that's about all I have.
Okay. Mr. Case, have you had an opportunity to review the information in the diagrams?
Yes, and Javier restaked the locations at our request. It's in an existing pole line, so it's not like that anything's really going to change with the existing way the wires flow down the street. Like Javier pointed out, that the one closer to 495 to the left side of the entrance is going to have conduit running from up it. Both of them are back far enough for snow removal and any other issues, and I don't have a problem with it whatsoever.
Okay. Okay. Any questions from any members of the select board?
Not for me.
Nothing from me.
Okay, actually, maybe this is a question for Stan or Jenny, just a point of procedure. I think officially need to close the public hearing and then we vote, or?
You close
Yes.
the hearing and then you take comments and then you vote. Is that right?
Any
I
comments?
believe so.
Okay. All right, so is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Stan?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. If anybody else has any comments, please feel free to raise your hand using the chat function. I'm not seeing any. Okay, so in that case, is there a motion to grant the petition to install those two new jointly owned poles.
I'll make a motion, to approve the petition of the Massachusetts Electric Company, DBA National Grid, and Verizon New England, Inc. to install two jointly owned poles, number 29-50 and number 30-50, wires and fixtures, including the necessary sustaining and protecting features along and across Main Street, Route 117, beginning at a point approximately 0 feet west of the center line of the intersection of Main Street and Route 49, and continuing approximately 1,300 and 1,475 feet in a westerly direction.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Stan,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
and I am also a yes. Thank you both, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice night. Appreciate your help.
Yeah,
Good night
thank
now.
you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Okay. Next up, and I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to connect with you about this, Marie, after I was checking email, but we were going to consider two appointments related to the Board of Assessors. Are they both being postponed?
We're currently looking at the Board of Registrars. There's only one open seat on the Board of Assessors, which
Oh,
is.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
postponed. Yeah. So the assessor is postponed till December 5, and Jenny has already posted it, and this will likewise go out in the clerk's corner announcements.
Okay, but the announcement for the Board of Registrars has gone out already.
Fourth member, believes so, looking at Jenny, yes.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
So we're postponing consideration of the Board of Assessors appointment in order to give it the posting and notice time period. But has that noticing and time period happened with respect to the Board of Registrars appointment for Donnell Kaselka?
Yes, the Board of
Okay.
Registrars has been posted in the clerk's corner because it's been an open position.
Okay. Sorry, I just see Charlotte Johnson joining now, so. Um, so, just to get Kate and Stan up to speed, originally we had listed that we would potentially have a joint vote with the Board of Assessors to appoint a new member, Marcia Nunny, to an open seat on the Board of Assessors. But when in speaking with Marie, when I learned that we didn't actually post that position for the normal time and give it like, 2 weeks notice to receive any other interested applications, I thought it was important that we stick to that normal procedure, which isn't to say anything about the candidate that has been brought forward at all. I'm sure she's an excellent candidate, but I think the process and sticking to the normal process is important. Stan, Kate, any questions about that?
Nope.
Nope, makes sense to me.
Okay. So with that, let's postpone that to remind me, do we have a date for that?
December 5th.
Okay, so if we could just postpone that joint vote to December 5th, that would be great.
I did not, I'm sorry to interrupt. I did not put a date to respond by on the posting that's on the website. Should I put the Monday prior to that meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
please. Okay, do we have somebody here to speak to the recommendation regarding the Board of Registrars member?
Hi,
Can we mute?
yeah,
Um,
actually you can. Jenny sent another, oops, hold on 1 second, sorry. Jenny, I'm sorry, I just have Jeff, he couldn't get in. So,
I did send him the
I
link.
know, I know, I got it. but he didn't get it. So let me just mute me while I talk to him.
Okay.
Okay,
I do have so Jennifer Marquis and Kristen Zena are both not able to attend today. I do have an email that Jen had sent over with the recommendation of Donnell. She said that Donnell had moved to Bolton in 2019 and has been an election volunteer since 2020, supporting early voting and our voters at the polls. She currently leads internal communications.
She sent about 10
sorry.
minutes
One
ago,
second.
she sent
Are
it.
you able to mute her? Okay. good.
Yes. She currently leads internal communications and corporate branding at iRobot and is a longtime corporate communications professional. She has a master's degree from Northwestern University and a bachelor's degree in communications from Simmons College, and she is in the meeting.
Great. Hi, could you pronounce your last name, Donnell?
I will. It's Koselka.
Koselka. Thank you so much. Thank you for stepping up for this. Do you want to say a few words about your interest in the position?
Yeah, I just, when we moved to town, I was looking for volunteer opportunities, and I am passionate to make sure that people vote. And when Jen put out a call for volunteers, I signed up and helped out with early voting, and I absolutely loved it. Was able to do it again this year. And she asked me if this would be something I'd be interested in. I said yes, because this would be like, I just really enjoy it. I enjoy helping the process. I find it fascinating. So it was a natural yes for me.
Great. Any questions from Stan or Kate?
Not for me.
Nope.
None for me either. Just thank you for being willing to serve in this capacity for the town.
Yeah, happy to do it.
So I would I'd entertain a motion to vote to appoint Donnell Koselka as the fourth member of the Board of Registrars for a term through 2026.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Stan?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Thank you so much, Ms. Koselka. I think you'll just have to go into town hall to get sworn in at some point.
Yes, Kristen mentioned that, so I'm happy to do it. All right,
Great, thank you.
I will sign off. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.
So now we're ready to move on to the next item on our agenda, which is another public hearing regarding the property tax classification. So first, I would entertain a motion to open the public hearing pursuant to Chapter 40, Section 56 of MGL to hold that public hearing regarding the property tax classification.
So moved.
Second that.
Okay, roll call. Kate,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
and I'm also a yes. Okay, and with that, I know that we have several members of the Board of Assessors here, as well as I think a representative from RRG potentially. So Jeff, do you want to take it away?
Yes, thank you for hearing from us tonight. I appreciate it, Brian.
There's Jeff.
We actually have two items on the agenda very quickly. One, we need your vote to okay a new Board of Assessor member.
Jeffrey,
Wendy Rogers stepped down.
Brian,
Yes.
can you, I don't think
Yeah.
he got the email.
Sorry. I don't think you got the email yet. So we actually do have to delay that item until December 5th because we need to give it the appropriate notice period.
Okay, terribly sorry, I didn't see the notice.
No
That
problem.
was-
Second item is classification.
Right.
We will be advocating to the selectmen a single rate, which is normal for us every year since I've been on the board. We just don't have enough of commercial and industrial to meet the dual rate if we even wish to go that route. So we will be advocating to you a single rate for the town.
Understood. Thank you. And I believe Mr. Heckman, are you here to sort of provide us an overview?
Yes, Robert will give you the details.
Great. Thank you. Oh, we're having trouble hearing you, Mr. Heckman.
Yeah, get it. You're on mute.
Nope.
Okay. Now you're off mute. What is up?
I think sometimes with the ear pod.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Yeah, I think it was my AirPods.
Just like the Verizon commercial. We can hear you now.
All right, awesome. So hi everyone. I think I've met a few of you in here. My name's Robert Heckman. I work for Regional Resource Group and I'm new in Bolton. Just a little about myself. I'm taking over for Alex Servone. I am currently in Winchendon and Sterling as well as Bolton now. I was previously in Hubbardston. And I've been with RG for 2 years, a little more, and my background's in real estate law, working at a real estate law firm in Leominster. So, yeah, it's tax classification hearing time, and you know, does everyone have the packet?
Yep.
That I provided? All right, awesome. Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of breeze through the packet. Give a little bit of information. I'll probably skip through a few things. I don't think anyone isn't familiar with the terminology or some of the processes. So if anyone is, feel free to stop and we can discuss. But yeah, so we'll get started. So for an introduction, prior to the mailing of third quarter tax billings, Bolton Select Board, as we're doing currently, holds a public hearing to determine town's property tax levy to be borne for each property class. And right now, if you look at the steps in setting the tax rates, we're currently at steps 4 through 6. So previously, we, for step 1, determined the property tax levy, the assessed valuations, and tabulated the assessed valuations by class. And the purpose of this portion is step 4 through 6, which is to do the classification hearing itself, determine the tax shift options that we have, and ultimately vote for the tax shift factor for the select board to do so. Yes, Jenny, that would be awesome. Right. So the levy, the tax levy, is the amount of property taxes to be raised for the town. Bolton is estimated this year to be at $27,566,431.93, which is a 5.93% raise over last year of $26,023,719.28. Yep, right there. And for new growth, we're currently looking at $118,482 for fiscal year 2025. And provided a little bit more information on that page, and we'll skip over to the LA4 on the next page. So I just like to include the LA4 to get a good view of what's going on as far as the assessed values per property type and per classification. It gives a nice breakdown of what we have in town for residential and for CIP. CIP stands for commercial, industrial, and personal property. So Bolton has a really strong case for maintaining a single tax rate due to the fact that 95% of the property, of the valuation of the town is residential. Only 4.912% that is commercial, industrial, and personal property.
Excuse me, Mr. Heckman, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Just for folks that may be watching or reading about this meeting, is there like a rough percentage or threshold at which you do see towns opting for a differential rate? Like we're obviously at 95% residential, but like what percent residential will you see a shift?
So in in my experience of what I've seen, you typically won't see a shift until you start to get closer to, 60-40, 55-45, until something is really almost on par with each other in terms of value, just due to the fact of, obviously there's going to be more residential properties and parcels in town for property types than there are going to be commercial. So a lot of the, it's not so much the volume, but the, I guess not so much the quantity, but the quality of the commercial, industrial, and personal property values, where you would see that start to take over.
All right, so I didn't mean to.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah. Okay, so shifting the tax burden. So typically when I'll do these, I like to include a little table that we have on here. This will be on the next page. And the reason why I didn't include this for Bolton is because the example that I was trying to use doesn't even fit the parameters for what the town would need to elect for a shift from a 1-to-1 if you were going to create a split tax rate. Basically the idea is for the tax rate for the average single family residence from last year to remain the same, considering the new tax rate, you would need to have over a $10 increase just on the commercial, industrial, and personal property side to account for the difference. So the split tax rate, if you were just to use theoretical numbers, would be $12 for residential and $20 to $23 for commercial, industrial, and personal property. That's how drastic the difference is for a town like Bolton, due to the fact of the disparity between the residential, how much the residential valuation makes up compared to the commercial, industrial, and personal property.
Per thousand.
Also, sorry?
Per thousand.
Yes. Yeah. Also, with Bolton being a right to farm community, chapter is included in that commercial, industrial, and personal property, and the effect that would have on farms and people that participate in chapter programs would be a pretty hefty size increase in their bill.
Yeah.
To accommodate.
Got it.
And then at the bottom, I like to just include a nice, a little tax impact information tidbit, where right now for fiscal 25, we're looking at $820,000 for the average single family valuation. That's at the estimated tax rate of $16.62 per thousand currently. That average valuation for taxes per thousand would be $13,637. And as opposed to last year at $795,926, with the average tax amount being $12,941. It's a 3% increase for the average value of the homes and average single family residence, and 5.38% on an average tax increase. This is due to the nature of the beast right now with the sale market. Everything that we do is a reflection from the Department of Revenue of what's going on in sales, and it's always an ebb and flow with the valuations and the tax rate. So here, we have the tax rate going up a little bit, not too much of an increase when it comes to the tax impact in comparison to other communities in the area. So with that, the recommendation from the board, as Jeff has stated previously, recommends that the select board adopts a residential shift factor of 1 with a corresponding commercial, industrial, personal property factor of 1, thereby maintaining the relative shares of overall tax burden borne by the residential property owners in the past years.
Okay.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you very much. Any additional comments from our assessors?
With
Well, Brian, you need to have a vote of the Board of Selectmen.
well, no, he's asking for questions first.
Oh, I know, but I just wonder.
Brian, to make a bottom line statement, until we have approximately 35% of the total tax revenue coming from commercial, we have no ability to be able to do anything except to keep a single rate.
Yep, got it. Hey,
And-
Jenny, can you stop the screen share? I think what we can do is we can make a motion to close the hearing, and then I'll see if there are any other comments or questions, and then we'll vote.
I'll move
Okay.
to close the hearing?
Second?
Okay, roll call. Kate,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. Okay, are there any questions or comments from the public? Not seeing any hands. How about from Kate or Stan?
Nope. Nope. It's very predictable, this conversation that we have every year. So
No surprises.
No.
This is my first year, but thank you for making it digestible and understandable.
No, and at least we get to see Stan once a year this way. So that works.
Great.
It's good to see you too, Charlotte.
Thank you, Stan.
So without any other questions, is there, I'd entertain a motion to accept the recommendation to use a single factor for the property tax classification.
So moved?
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Kate,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
and I'm also a yes. Thank you all for being here and walking us through that.
Happy to be here
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
and happy to have you guys there.
And we'll see you on the, I think we'll see you on the 5th so that we can make that appointment together.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Take care, everybody. Have a nice
Good
night.
night.
Thank you.
Night.
Okay, next up, we have, we'll be hearing from our police chief, Chief Hamburger, regarding announcement and introduction of some new staff members. So over to you, Chief.
Hi, good evening all. Thank you for having us. So as you're all aware, we've encountered a bit of a staffing challenge. So as of the end of September, so we jumped right into the hiring process, advertising and hiring process, and we hadn't added any reserve officers since 2020. So we actually expanded out that process as well. So who I have with me here tonight are three gentlemen who I'm extremely fortunate have taken that step forward to join our department. First off, we have Kevin Trongone. He is taking on one of our full-time sergeant positions. Kevin comes to us from right next door in Berlin. He's served there roughly 18 years. Including as a detective. He comes with already having completed the first line supervisor's course through the MPTC and the FBI LEDA trilogy course, which includes supervisory, command, and executive development courses. Next up, we have Andrew LaMarche. Andrew is coming on with us as a reserve officer. He started off with the Reserve Engineering Academy back in 2004. He's then completed the Special State Police Academy, and he's been in the campus policing world. He's currently lieutenant at Fitchburg State College. He'd also previously worked at Amherst College. He's got a bachelor's in criminal justice, and he's a firearms instructor and armor. And last but not least, Tim Stewart. Tim comes also from Fitchburg State University. He's been there for a little over a year. He's got his associates in criminal justice. He is a graduate of the MPTC Bridge Academy program. He also has been a working reserve for Templeton PD since 2021. So he's got a little bit of the municipal experience as well. And he's actually had some dispatch experience as well with Fitchburg PD.
and he has had crisis intervention training. So we are incredibly fortunate. Tim's also coming on as a reserve with Andrew. I was incredibly impressed with the skill set and the experience that all three of these folks have brought to the department. It doesn't solve our immediate problems, but they are certainly going to help in all kinds of ways. And I'm very pleased to present these three candidates to you tonight.
Great. Excellent. Thank you so much, Chief. I certainly don't want to put anybody on the spot. First, let me just say thank you and congratulations for stepping up to serve our community in this way. It's so important, the services you all provide. And if anybody wants to say anything further, just by way of introduction, feel free to raise your hand and let me know. Otherwise, I think all of us will look forward to seeing you out and about in the community. Really excited to have you all on board. Go ahead, Mr. Trongone.
Yes, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to meet you all and the board. Very excited to come over from Berlin. Been there, as the chief said, 18 years. Born and raised in Clinton, so I'm very familiar with the demographics of Bolton. They always say we're all related, right? But it's nice to be able to come aboard and help the chief and the needs of the department. And I'm very, very, very excited to have this opportunity. And I'm very confident that what we need to do and the agenda that the chief has, that will do good things. And again, I know some familiar faces here, so it's nice to have that local feel. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to come aboard and serve the citizens of Bolton and in this capacity. So it's an opportunity that I really couldn't pass up. And the chief knows they have my commitment for my balance of my tenure as a law enforcement officer. So I'm not going anywhere. So you have my commitment. So
That's excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it. Mr. LaMarche. Oh, we can't hear you for some reason.
How's that?
There you go.
Some settings for microphone. I just want to echo some of the same things he just said as well. I'm happy to be here, happy to be able to help Bolton through their time of need. I've kind of grown up in the area too, so it's nice to be able to kind of give back to a local community too. And pleasure to meet all you folks. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person very shortly. Just thank you for the time and opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. LaMarche. Great to meet you as well. I see you there, Mr. Stewart.
And I might as well. I don't want to be the odd dog out. So again, thank you for the opportunity. Look forward to serving the town. I've been in a small town of Templeton for almost 4 years, so I love that small town feel. Everybody's close to the community, which I like. So just looking forward to jumping on in, helping the chief out any way I can.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions from Stan or Kate?
No questions from me, but gentlemen, welcome. We look forward to working with you. I've known Luke pretty much ever since he joined. I've been a selectman here for past 20 years. It seems like a lot longer, but welcome. And anything you need, please reach out to Luke, reach out to me. We're here to help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just reiterating the welcome, thank you all for joining our community. And I know we all look forward to seeing you at every parade and Backyard Bolton and all the events that we have. And it'll be good to see you there.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks so much. And be safe out there, okay?
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you all very much. It was a pleasure to see you all again.
You too.
Thanks, Chief.
Good night, gentlemen. Good night, Chief.
Good night.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Thank you all.
Okay, I realize we're running about 4 minutes ahead of schedule. So the next thing we're going to do is consider a request for approval of 2 signs at 476 Main Street. I'm stalling, Jenny. I'm looking at you because I don't know if somebody from the Yoga Nook is going to be appearing or not.
Well,
Or actually, it was going
Tim,
to be the building owner, right?
well, Tim Hood and Jane Hood were going to be here. Jackie let me know that. However, I believe that they were sent the other link. So I did email both of them. I don't know if they'll see it in time. Jackie from the Yoga Nook wanted to extend her apologies for the sign being put up before an approval process. It was misunderstanding on the sign maker's part of when the building permit is actually issued. But they didn't mean to misstep. So I'll just convey that. I don't know if you need them here for the review of the sign or if you want to wait and then circle back.
Yeah, I think what I'm inclined to do, just in case somebody does join, we can probably pause on this for now and get into the town administrator report. And then if we go for like 10 minutes and they're not here, we'll just reconsider.
Sounds good.
Does that work for you, Marie?
Totally does. I will stop as soon as someone else joins the meeting.
Okay.
All right. Just wanted to share briefly the information that was sent out to the board earlier this evening. As a community service announcement, please be aware if you are auto-enrolled, if you'd received a letter instead of a postcard from the town of Bolton about electricity, you will be auto-enrolled. That opt-out has closed as of this week. Watch your bill and see on your December bill, it will state that you're being switched to Bolton. Your January bill will show your supplier, First Point, and the aggregation rate. Kudos to DPW Director Randy Hegland for organizing the Main Street Culvert Project Public Info Session, which occurred this past Tuesday. It was well attended. Residents were aware of the need for the road improvements and likewise understanding the need for the culvert repair. There was a lot of good feedback that was then channeled to the consultant Green International. As an example of a collaboration between boards, the Derby Field package and the specifications, unit pricing are in process. There needs to be a bit more detail for the bid spec, which increases the cost. The Park and Rec Commission have been approached by the conservation agent, and they're tentatively proposing covering that increase. Likewise, the community liaison position has received applicants, so that finally has dropped off. 580 Main Street, the permit fees have been received and the permits were issued, and I shared with the board a 3-week look ahead. And additionally, the Town Hall Egress Project, one of the ARPA funded projects, is having its preliminary field investigation. Hence, if you drive by Town Hall, you'll see folks out there with their measuring tapes and laser levels. The open space recreation plan, under the direction of the conservation agent, has been conditionally approved until November of 2031, which is great. And this also enables us to be eligible for a range of DCS grants. The conservation agent has shared this with relevant departments who would conditionally be applying for said grants. We're seeking a full-time labor transfer station attendant. If folks are interested, please look at the town website for underemployment opportunities. And likewise, I'm proposing to the board to get the word out to the public that on Tuesday, December 24th, we have a reduced open hours for the public. So we're open from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. versus 4:30 p.m. Staff are responding in terms of their plans. We will have all departments covered that week, but also wanted to be mindful of, lower foot traffic with this somewhat aberrant Wednesday holiday. For the board's pleasure, as well as for anyone watching at home, the Mass Department of Revenue, Division of Local Services has a whole bunch of fun visualizations of the town's financial data. This is just sort of good to see where Bolton stands. Note that everything is through fiscal 24, as only moments ago we were applying the fiscal 25 rate. Financially, looking ahead to fiscal 26, we are tentatively on track to get back 50,000. We had allocated 88,000, or rather the board had, from our ARPA monies to cover runout claims for the former Minuteman Neshoba Health Group. So that's good news. Jenny and I had met with Maya, who are presenting their preliminary rates. Our rates are not incrementing dramatically, although prior years' property losses will be influencing how the outlook for fiscal 23 for our property insurance. We're starting to get our assessments in. At the last board meeting, it was an update on Worcester Regional. Regional Dispatch is tentatively looking at a 16,000 increase for fiscal 26. And everyone is assiduously working on their fiscal 26 budgets due in December. There was an agenda item, and I just wanted to update the board. The school building project was authorized by a debt exclusion vote, which had 161 million. Actually, I can flip and find the actual dollar amount that was authorized by the taxpayers of the 3 towns. Note, this is the total project cost minus the MSBA reimbursement, and that 161 is going to be shared across the 3 towns by that formula in the regional agreement. Up till now, what has transpired is the first tranche of debt was authorized in August. The first payments, so the principal and interest, are due, debt authorized in August of 23. The first payments of the principal and interest are in residents' tax bills for fiscal 25. On a positive note, that initial authorization allowed the building committee to release the early on-site bid packages. One bonus of that is that items that are sort of in the news, what about structural steel, for example, have already been bid and secured, as well as that initial tranche let them fund their ongoing design. At the last school building committee meeting, which was helpful to attend, they've been running off cycle and occurring the same night as the select board. The 90% construction documents were voted for submission to the MSBA. As such, there had been discussion, and want to acknowledge the superintendent and the finance director had reached out to me, as well as the other 2 town administrators, to give us a large advance notice that they were looking at the second round of bonding, which would be for $80 million. The balance that the superintendent is trying to strike is to hold firm to that 4% interest rate that had been broached at the town meeting when the debt was authorized. There's, as of yet though, and this might be the Captain Obvious statement, there's a lot of uncertainty regarding the interest rates for muni bonds. There's a lot of uncertainty in terms of supply and pricing. The 3 town administrators had met with the Neshoba Regional Administration, and in a meeting that I have to extol was highly collaborative. There was a discussion in terms of the timing for their bonding strategy, but likewise the impact on the municipal cash flow and our quarterly tax billing cycles. Subsequently, there were sort of tacit agreements to remain closely in touch, but the administration of Neshoba was very receptive and mindful that although the 3 towns had voted for this, they were obligated or interested in doing their part to make it easy to meet the commitments of the taxpayer. So all of that, the bonding authorization for 80 million will be happening in calendar 25. Strategically, there's a belief that interest rates will be declining and that this would even be more conducive. Positive note for our cash flow, this also is easier for our collector in terms of our reserves. And that's all I have.
A lot of it, good info. Are there questions that folks want to ask?
Nope.
Nope.
Thank you, Marie. I probably say this all the time, but I do appreciate the format of this and the fact that you walk through it together on the screen. I think it's really helpful. All right, so now looks like we can revisit the agenda item regarding the request for approval of signs at 476 Main Street. So I don't know who wants to take the lead here, but just introduce yourself if you would and tee up the discussion. Hi.
Hi, I'm Jane Hood. And Tim is there. I'll let Tim take care of it.
Hi, Tim Hood from the Bolton Country Cupboard and the property at 476 Main Street. We're just here to propose a new sign for new business, the Yoga Nook. We wanted to replace the existing dog watch sign that's in the middle and replace it with half dog watch and half the Yoga Nook. That's pretty much it.
Any questions from Kate or Stan?
No, I've seen the sign. It looks fine.
Yep, no questions from me.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? I heard some dogs that sound like they may have some thoughts about reducing the size of the dog watch sign.
Yeah, right.
Somebody's dog was barking on screen and mine chipped in, so.
No, I think this is great. Thank you very much for coming tonight, and I have no issues as well. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the request for the sign.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Kate?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. Thank you both, Tim and Jane.
Thank
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Thanks,
I had
guys.
technical difficulties.
Be good.
Thank you.
Night.
Bye.
Take care.
You too.
Okay, great. And now it's select board business. Sorry, I've been like, I don't know if people have noticed, I've been like downing some fluids and now I've run out and my voice is starting to give way, so I apologize.
And what fluids would they be?
You know, I put it in a coffee mug to leave, you know, what you don't know can't hurt you.
Yeah, fluids.
Exactly.
Yeah. We all need our fluids.
Do either of you have any public service announcements?
I do not.
No.
I have a quick one. I think there'll actually probably be some news and announcements about this on the website as well, but we are officially in kind of like a level 3 critical drought. Basically all of Massachusetts except for the Cape is in like a severe drought situation, and so I just encourage people, hopefully the rain tonight's helping out a lot. But for you know, we rely on fire ponds and things like that around town. Those are starting to dry up a little bit. Other creeks and things. So just watch your own water consumption and continue to be careful about burning things outside. And any fires at this point are not a good situation for a town like ours. So please be careful. Jenny or Marie, did you have anything that you wanted to add by way of public service announcements?
No, just to reiterate what you'd stated with regards to fire, the fire chief is actively monitoring the fire ponds as well as the cisterns and going out to refill the tankers so that we're prepared for any and all bad outcomes should they occur.
Great, thank you. Okay, next up, how about any future agenda items for discussion?
Yeah, I have one. I think it would be a good idea to invite Chief Legendre in. We set up, or he set up, the ALS service some number of years ago. And I think it would be good. I think it was almost 4 years ago now. I think it would be a good idea to have him come in and give us an update on how that's progressing, relative to what the initial expectations were when the program was first set up.
I think that's a great idea. Marie, can you convey that? And you know what? I'm realizing it has been about 4 years. Is that right, Stan? So
I think so. Yeah.
Kate and I were not on the board, so when it was initially presented. So maybe Marie, if he's able to take a look back at what some of those initial projections were.
I will convey all that to the chief. And so this would be for the December 5th meeting?
I think we can probably be flexible based on his schedule, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. In the near futures. I mean, obviously there's a lot of things going on, but when it's convenient for him.
how about you, Kate?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. And then next up, this is kind of circling back on something last time. So we had received the information about conducting a data analysis to create a draft of farmland of local importance for Bolton. And so our town administrator followed up on a couple of questions. Did either of you have any questions based on the follow-up materials that she forwarded us?
Nope.
No, I think that resolved the questions we had.
Yep.
Okay. So could somebody make a motion to authorize the town administrator to sign to authorize NRCS to do that analysis, to sign on our behalf?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Kate?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. Sorry, I think I noticed in the agenda online there was like an edit to the names of the warrants, so I'm just pulling that up.
Yeah, there was a supplemental warrant that is actually here to be signed, that just popped up here yesterday. So I figured I'd add it while I was revising.
Okay, so would somebody like to move to approve bills / payroll warrants W25-9, W25-9A, W25-10, W25-10A, and the new supplemental W25-10S?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Stan?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. And then I know we have a slew of minutes, but only one or two sets of which were regular session minutes. Jenny, I don't think I had received the 10/24/24 regular session minutes, but did anybody else get those?
Yeah, I didn't, but I did give Jenny my comments this evening when I got that email.
Okay.
I'll hold those till
Yeah.
next meeting then.
Yeah, I checked. I didn't see those.
Oh.
So
Okay, let's hold those, but then we did have 11/7/24 with some changes. Are you able to share that real quick, Jenny?
Yes, let me pull those up real quick.
Thanks.
You said 11/7, yes.
Yes, November 7th.
So that with changes. So
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of November 7th, 2024.
second.
Roll call. Stan?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah.
Now we need to move into executive session. So I would entertain a motion to enter executive session pursuant to MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21, subsection A, for purpose 3, to conduct strategy with respect to collective bargaining